Eye tracking.
So there's all these reports out at the moment, and correct me if I'm wrong on this because I'm the mere reader, not the researcher.
Yeah.
But you can essentially throw your website screen up, and there's technology that will track where people's eyes are most naturally going to, so you can make sure that you're plugging the important bits of your site in those key areas.
That's cool.
It's way cool.
So
Way cool.
So there's websites that actually do that.
No, it's a piece of technology. It's
Yeah.
it's a hardware. It looks like a monitor,
Yeah.
and it has infrared cameras embedded in it and infrared illuminators that light up your face. And the reflection from your pupils is calculated with a bit of trigonometry, and then we can work out where you're working.
That's
where you're
rad.
looking.
It's genius. So they've done all these studies on it around Facebook and a lot of the social networking sites, and it's how the screens are placed. So when Facebook went through the full redesign for Timeline,
Yeah.
that's part of the reason why it went through the Timeline design.
Yeah, they're using the same eye trackers as we use. They bought them from the Swedish company.
You and
tell you- I'll tell you-
Duck Dog.
Well, yeah, you know. I'll tell you the cool bit is I needed one of these eye trackers to run our business, so I approached the guys in
I
Sweden.
need one just to play with it
Well, exactly.
for Christmas.
But
please,
wait for
Santa.
it. I approached the guys in Sweden and said, I need to buy one of these things. And the guy came and met me over in Sydney, and I left the Hilton at 2 a.m. becoming the reseller of these things in Australia. I had no idea really how to sell them or really how they worked.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that was 6 years
awesome.
ago, and now we sell them as well. It sort of props up our
How
business.
much are they?
About 50 grand.
Yeah, I'll need an angel investor for that.
So they prop up our...
Ian.
What's really good is that they prop up our business because it provides cash flow when the consulting business is going up and down like a yo-yo.
Yeah,
Right-
yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right now
cool.
it's going down just because everyone's like, it's Christmas, let's just have a rest.
Everyone's on
We're too busy,
holidays,
end of
chill
financial
out.
year, end of year or end of financial year for
Yeah.
some. And then January everyone's on holidays. So, but eye
Yeah.
trackers are a different thing. But now, wait for this, we've got 8 different kinds of eye trackers in the office.
Stop it.
Yeah. So
8?
I can track you now. I could track you looking at each other. Exactly.
Wow.
Walking in a supermarket, driving a car, using an iPad, using an iPhone.
So I have seen
Website.
some really cool digital technology around advertising for that too, that you
Yeah.
can run. If you're running like a digital billboard, it'll track the demographic that's watching, how long they look at the screen, where they look
Crazy.
at the screen, whether it's male or female. Like
Yeah, that's face tracking. It's
Big
working
Brother
out.
is massively watching.
Oh, wait for it. These guys have embedded eye trackers into laptops. They're working with, name escapes me, I'll remember it. Intel, yeah,
Yeah.
to embed it in laptops. So they've got the prototypes ready and it works. I've seen it.
Crazy.
But, wait for it in a few years' time. We're going to have not only eye tracking, but augmented interaction. So instead of a designer...
So if I spend too long looking at an ad, it'll open that ad for me.
That'll happen one day, but in the first instance, they'll have like designers will they'll be working on a design in Photoshop or whatever,
Yeah.
and they use their eyes to select a different color or interact like that. But they're a really cool application.
So we're going to become really lazy.
Oh, absolutely.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah,
We're not going to have to move our arms.
Yeah, and you can blink to do things or whatever. Right now, they're using it for doctors in keyhole surgery.
Yeah.
So they're busy with their hands, and they can look at the screen and interact with it, and not have to take their hands off the device.
With their eyeballs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
Okay,
kinda
so I just
speechless
saw
'cause
Matt
that's really-
speechless, and
yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Wow,
That's a first. You've done well.
I'm speechless because I've now got a beer.
I know. You got to love a networking event.
So, these eye trackers and everything like that. Do you think that it'll reach the stage where, like, all laptops and that will have them, and people that are creating websites will be able to, I don't know, pay some kind of subscription fee and have a look where the eyeballs are going to their website?
Absolutely.
Through some
Yeah.
kind of
The CEO of this company, they're Swedish based, and I've been around for 12 years. They're the
Yeah.
fastest growing IT company in Sweden, 6 years in a row on
Wow.
a Deloitte measure. And the objective of the CEO is to get it into every device. You can actually do eye control with an iPhone these days.
Really?
Yeah, I don't actually know how it works, but there are drivers that are programmed to be able to do it.
Really?
And Windows 8 has been released with eye tracking drivers in it as well.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's
That's very
definitely
cool.
going to happen. The other thing which I didn't say is these eye trackers are also used by disabled people to control the world with their eyes. So
That's very
actually
cool.
that's actually a bigger part of the Swedish business
Yeah.
is people with autism or ALS. They're locked into a wheelchair, or not autism people aren't necessarily locked into a wheelchair, but people who've got cerebral palsy or
Yeah.
Yeah.
have had a car accident or whatever and can't move anything but their eyes.
That's very cool.
Wow.
That's very cool.
Technology just keeps on getting more and more and more amazing. I love it.
I know, you
think
look
it's great.
overwhelmed.
And
Are
when we,
you
and when
okay?
we when we use this technology with our clients, so we might work with a bank or a real estate company or whatever,
Yeah.
and we record where people are looking on a screen, and then we show that to the executive. They just get all excited. They just go all gooey and start sending it to everybody in the business because it's just so cool.
But it's such a cool visual
Yeah.
statistic that you can actually show people
Absolutely.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
see as well. So it's not just a bunch of numbers on the on a page that no one understands.
Absolutely.
Which is what you've got in the past.
That would be, because obviously Shoestring is a website and it's all about where the eyes
And a
that
very
are
good
looking.
one. Congratulations again on your nominations.
Thank you.
Did you win it?
Well, the nominations close. The voting closes on the 21st.
What is
so
it? I can't remember.
it's the Australian Tech Awards. So
Yeah, it's pretty-
best media startup we've gone for. I think we're
Ooh.
currently coming second in the popularity polls.
What has to? What do you have
behind
to?
white cluttered spaces?
Really?
Hi, white cluttered
So-
spaces.
Hi. Sorry, but everyone's going to vote for Maddie.
No, they've been around for a couple of years now, but we're beating like Pedestrian TV and Startup Smart and Smart Company, so
Ooh.
I'm very happy with that.
Smart company.
Cool. Good on you, dude.
I've just been really whipping it and going, vote for me.
Yeah, you have.
Psycho vote
If
for me,
anyone
people.
can pimp it out on social media, it's you.
Yes, I know. I'm very persistent. So
Persistent, annoying, persistent.
But-
Same.
but for some, but like for publications, I mean, like if I look at, even like Sydney Morning Herald and stuff like that, that kind of technology is like they're probably using it now in terms of, and when you look at
they do use it. Those type of companies do use it to design their websites and even
absolutely.
papers.
And it's really funny because a whole heap of websites have just gone through a completely new design. If you look at the Next Web and Mashable have changed their design. There's a lot.
We've got a client up in Brisbane, and they're an agency, and
Yeah.
they use the eye tracker on staff when they've got a funky design that they want to show to a client. They do the eye tracking, and they show the client. You give them 3 options, and one of them's really good, and one's okay, and one's what they want.
Yeah.
And then, they do this eye tracking first, and so when they come to show the one they want, they go, and the eye tracking, look at it, it's brilliant, it's working well. And the client that I've seen, a couple of clients that have actually changed their tune and gone with the funky design because the eye tracking shows it actually works.
Yeah,
Wow.
right. So is there any themes or common denominators with eye tracking as to where people look straight up on a screen?
At faces and boobs.
Really?
Mm.
I don't
Can
know
I tell
why.
you- can
I
I
don't
tell
know
you-
why I'm surprised by that. Yeah. Social face. Maybe I should have called it social boobs.
Can I
It's
tell you?
got a whole new one.
I got to tell you
I'm
this.
getting some nods from outside and some thumbs up. There's probably going to be a rebrand.
I got to tell you this. We did a presentation this morning. We did some eye tracking in FMCG and fast-moving consumer goods, and we were tracking a simulation of a shopping centre.
Yeah.
And the person was just shown this as a video, and there was this one guy who would not stop looking at the simulated women's tits in the video.
Classic.
And he was really awkward because he actually said to one of my guys, the facilitator, would you mind just fast forwarding that, please?
Oh, no.
So in technical terms, we call him an outlier.
Yeah, right.
Wow. So I'm also keen to learn a little bit more information on, I guess, some of the other cool research that you guys have done. I mean, being a psychologist and merging that with the tech space, I find that very interesting. Is there like a standout research project or something that you've done where you've made a discovery in the tech space that you've just been like, oh wow, never
Holy
thought
moly,
that
we're
would be
cool, and
the-
look at what we just found. Have you had a moment?
We've had them in the FMCG space because they're a bit dumb.
Yeah.
But but in the tech space, techies do stuff that's cool for their own reasons.
Yeah.
But most of the time, when you point out what people actually do, they're kind of like, oh, okay, well, I'll change it.
Yeah.
Most of
Yeah.
them don't get too defensive. So have we had an amazing standout? It's really common sense. You know,
Yeah.
we all understand how people work. Not all of us are able to interpret that and do anything with it, particularly
Yeah.
those techies.
Is it changing though? Is it has it changed from like what it is today to what it was 5 years ago in terms of how people are wanting to interact with technology and that type of thing?
Well, people just want it now, and they
Yeah.
want it like they want it,
Yeah.
and that
It's totally an instant world, hey?
absolutely. But the people who are designing it are getting better at taking in feedback and
There's
changing
a- there's
things.
a really-
And social media is providing businesses with a really easy access to feedback.
Yeah.
So long as they manage
Yeah,
it
it is.
properly with somebody like Shona.
Yeah,
That's right.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the plug. Appreciate that.
Socialpost.com.au. And
Run the ad
wha-
again soon.
one of the cool things that I saw today is this video called "Connecting," the film, and go and watch it. It's just on Vimeo, and just look up "Connecting," the film. It's probably about a 15-minute film, but it interviews like a lot of people from Nokia and like all different types of companies about how design and technology and the psychology of customers in terms of how that's now impacting the way that designers have to make things look and feel and touch and all of that type of stuff. So I just find the space extremely fascinating.
It's intriguing.
And I'm glad
I
that I
love
learned
it.
about the eye thing.
Eye tracking's big business, particularly in universities.
Yeah.
We work with most of the universities in Australia.
Yeah.
Psychology departments, human-computer interaction, human factors, ergonomics people, even accountants. Accountants are doing projects to try and work out how to make financial reports easier to read.
Well, that's good because we've got an
Oh,
accountant
can
on
you-
next, so you should try to talk to him.
Do you know who else should use it? Like Telstra or someone like that for their for the bills and that type of thing. They should.
Really? Really?
Yeah, they should. Telstra.
Telstra, if
Matthew
you're
has
listening,
spoken.
Matt's just told you what you need to do.
Awesome. So where can we find out more information about your company and what you do?
At our website.
Oh, hang on, I want some tips first.
Oh.
Yeah.
3 tips for a startup, and if they're looking at building their online presence, using the trends that you've got, what are the top 3 things they should look at? Very
It's
quickly,
not
'cause we
necessarily
do
what
need
they
to
should
wrap
look
it.
at, but it's how they should do it. They need to ask their mother and their grandmother and their kids if the site works. Just show it to them, no matter how far advanced it is. Get feedback on it, and
Yeah.
continue to get feedback all the time. Make sure that you put yourselves in the person's shoes who's going to use it. Don't just assume you know everything, even though you are a cool entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's fair, because most of us are.
And most of us don't like feedback either.
Which is why we're entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
With our own business, because we just can't hack it if someone tells us what to do.
Exactly.
Classic.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
So
really
yeah,
good stuff.
objectivedigital.com is our website,
Awesome.
and our blog is on there. It's blog@objectivedigital.com, and we've got a very fun 12 people in our team, and we all
Yeah.
try to write on the blog regularly. So
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool. All
cool.
right. Well,
Definitely check
we'll
it
put
out.
all of those links up on our social media and also the Eagwaves website.
We will
And
pimp you
yeah,
out.
we'll get you back on again next year to talk about some specific
What's
trends
next?
and what's happening in digital, and maybe
sure.
even a live thing.
Oh my
about,
God, live eye
that.
tracking.
Yeah,
well,
that
we
would
could
be
do that. Yeah.
that would
Can
be
we?
pretty
Yeah.
cool. We'll do that in the cafe and see what's happening
Yeah,
there.
bring it.
Cool. You're listening to eagleWavesradio.com.au. We'll be back after this short break.
Metro Accounting help everyday Australians build their wealth more effectively.